Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is just going to be a really quick video walking through how much better sideloading has gotten on the Supernote platform. So I ran across a video by Vlad Campos the other day on a new download that allows you to install what I think is the only APK file you need to standalone, at least for me. Now, for your use case, it may vary. But for me, the main APK you need to get on your Supernote platform is F-Droid. Once you get that on there, then you can download the Aurora Store, which gives you, between those two main apps, the Google Play type experience. I'm going to walk you through that process, how much easier it is to do now, but always just be aware that these are custom designed plugins and that there may be some risk involved, and you really need to do your due diligence to make sure that you're downloading applications from trusted sources. But with no further ado, let's go ahead and hop on over and let's talk about it. All right, everyone. So here we are with the Supernote Nomad. And before we get started, I do want to say that this can be done on any of the Supernote devices that are the X series or later. This can be done on anything running Android. That would include the A6X, the A5X, the Manta, and the Nomad. The biggest thing to keep in mind there are the Android versions. This is running Android 11, as is the Manta, and the A5X and A6X are running Android 8.1. So that will limit the APKs and the versions of software you may be able to download and get onto those devices. But the process on all of these is going to be the same. Now, the way this has gotten a lot easier is you used to have to download a shell, open up a terminal to download this first app that I'm going to show you. That has been changed and made a lot easier. And so the process in some ways hasn't changed at all, except for eliminating a whole bunch of steps in the middle. First thing you're going to need to do is go into your settings. So you can get to that through quick access. I find it quicker just to pull down from the top, go into the settings menu, and then from here, you're going to go into security and privacy. And when you get in here, what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to enable sideloading. Now you'll see I already did that, and I think it may come by default now. Either way, or I did it when I first got it. I haven't sideloaded anything yet, so I'm going to be able to show you the whole rest of the process. So once you know that that is done, then you can go ahead back out, and then we will move on to the other stage, which is to talk about the programs that you're going to need to be able to have in place to do this. All of this will be linked in the description below so that you can download this and put this on your machine. Now remember, these are installations, they're custom installations. Actually, when you enable sideloading, they're going to ask you if you're sure, because they allow you to do it, but they don't support anything that may happen as a result of you sideloading an app that's unsafe. So just to be clear about that, I have not known of any issues with this. Vlad Campos did a walkthrough on it and he used it on his machine. But, just be careful, do your own due diligence, make sure that you're comfortable with sideloading and doing something a little different with the device. You can always uninstall it and turn it back later, but just be careful with that. What we're looking at here is the Android sideloader. And again, the description and the link is below, but you're going to be able to install that on any of your devices. So they have a Linux version, a Mac version, and a Windows version. So I installed the Windows version. I'm not going to walk you through that. I already downloaded it. But once you do, you will get a pop-up that will say, "Are you sure?" And you'll actually have to go to More and say that you want to run the installer. Once you do that, then you will get to an interface like this over here on this side. Now, what used to happen, and when this first pops up when you run it, it's going to ask you if you want to allow ADB. Now, what that is Android developer tools. Instead of having to go through a terminal and all of that, the way you used to have to do it before, now it just automatically comes in. After this is installed, the one thing you're going to want to do is make sure that the cable on your Supernote is connected to USB. Once you have that done, then you're going to have your Supernote show up right here on the side. So it's that easy. It's that quick. There are no command lines to do, none of that process that you had to do before. And then the app that you need to manually download is going to be F-Droid. And with F-Droid, you'll just search for F-Droid. I'll also put the link down in the description. It's a free open source kit, and you just download that APK right here. Again, I've already done this, so I won't show you that process, but it goes directly to your download folder. Now, the beauty of it is that when I go here and I go to choose APK file, when I click on choose APK file, it's going to pop up and I'm going to go into downloads. And when I do that, you're going to see F-Droid APK. And then I'm going to open that. Now, I could just drop and drag this from my Windows Explorer or Finder if you're on a Mac. I'm not 100% sure how it would work on Mac, so let's keep that out of, out of the discussion for now. But I'm going to go ahead and say install. So I install this, and it told me it was successfully installed. And that is all you have to do here. Now you can go to APK Mirror, you can download individual APKs, and you can do that with any program that is compatible with your device and your version history. But what I'm going to show you here, and I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. So now we're going to come back over to the Supernote, and what you're going to notice is that when I go back to my quick access menu and I go here to more, you're going to see right here F-Droid. Now, when I go to open up F-Droid, and this is why I say it's really, it's a much easier process than it used to be. Now, when we go to search, you should be able to search for Aurora Store because you'll see that this has started to populate. So if I put in Aurora, there is your Aurora Store. And you want to go ahead and select that. Now you'll see that pops up. It's got an install, very much how you would expect Google Play to work. And that's going to go ahead and install that app. Once it does, you will have to go in and install the settings, enable that, and then it's going to ask you for your permission again. You're going to say install. Once that installs, then the Aurora Store acts just like F-Droid did. Now, F-Droid has a whole bunch of other things as well. So you can go through and look and see what kind of applications they have, anything that may be useful to you. But remember, again, the reason that I like the Aurora Store is because it offers a lot of the same functionality and same applications that Google does. So that's a big deal. So now you have the Aurora Store. Now let's just go back so you can see where that lives. So if we go back into more apps again, now what you're going to see is the Aurora Store right here. And when we go and we open the Aurora Store, you can now, it's going to ask you for a welcome. It's going to tell you a little bit about it. And then you're going to cycle through and you're going to allow permissions. So you want to grant permission on all of these because you want it to be able to install, you want it to be able to install in the directory, and you want it to be able to update in the background. The reason that's good is because when you have new app update pushes, it comes through just like with Google Play, and you're allowed to get those updates in real time. You don't have to come in here all the time and check. If you choose and you would rather manually update these all the time, you can do that as well. And what's nice here is you can actually sign in with Google. I'm not going to do that right now just because I don't want to go through that whole process on here, but you can sign in with your Google account or you can log in anonymously. So right now we're going to log in anonymously. I'll go back, I'll set up my account, and then I will do that later. But right here, this is where you're going to see a lot of the apps that you're familiar with. You see Reddit, you see Discord, you see Instagram, all the different things. Now, some of these are going to be compatible, some are not, and it will tell you what is and is not if you go to install it. But so for example, let's say that we want to install Reddit. So we will go here to Reddit and we will say install, and it's going to ask us if we're sure. So we go ahead and say we want to install that. And at this point, I should say as well, you don't have to be connected to your device. Once you install F-Droid, you no longer have to use that window that I showed you before. You should be good to go. And here we are. We can go ahead and we can log into Reddit. And it's pretty easy to use. Now, it isn't going to be your traditional Android interface. You do have to go back and select your apps each time. You don't have a quick launcher per se, but you can then go back in, go to your Aurora Store, and it's going to be ready to let you proceed. So let's go back here and let's install Libby. So again, you can search here as well. So I can press search, and then I can say Libby. Handwriting is atrocious, but there's Libby. And I will hit enter. So Libby came up, and we will go ahead and say install. And that'll take it a little bit, but you'll notice it'll be ready to open here in just a minute. And when it is, we will go ahead and open that up. You do have to just accept it takes longer to do this on these devices than as quick as you expect it to be on a phone. But there we are. Now we're ready to go. It's going to say install, and then there's your open button. And now when we press that, you're going to be able to get to Libby. So we'll just use those as a couple of quick examples, and it's going to ask you if you have your library card, all of those things that you're used to with Libby. You can download Microsoft Edge on here. You can download Firefox, Opera. There's one that I think you have to download from F-Droid, which is, they call it E-Ink Bro, but is a specially designed browser for E-Ink. And then, of course, I'll go through, I'm going to download my Kobo and some of the other apps that I use for reading. I don't go overboard with this. I don't download a ton of different apps on here, but it's nice to know that you have the option. And now it is so much simpler, because what you saw me do there is I really only had to download one APK file. And that's just amazingly simplified over what we used to have. But let's go ahead and pop back over, and we will talk about just some concluding thoughts. Hey everybody, thanks for hanging in there. This was a fun video to do because I've done a video in the past on how to successfully sideload apps on the Supernote. It's actually one of my more popular videos that I did, and this streamlines that process amazingly. It makes it much shorter, much easier to do. I can't take credit for the Aurora Store. That was Kit Betts Masters. I can't take credit for this new tool. It was developed by someone on GitHub, and they put that on there. And I really can't take credit for finding out about it. That goes to Vlad Campos. But what I can say is that when I got the Nomad, part of me was like, even though it's only 2 apps at that point, or really 1, which is F-Droid, it was like, man, do I really want to go through and find that, go to that code, that terminal window, type in that command string, and first set up the device? I mean, there's a little bit of involvement there. It's not awful. It's not horrible, but it's not great. And this new process, it's so easy. You just find the APK, download it, open up this new file, and then upload it. And if you are someone who wants to download and manually upload their own APKs that may not be available on the Aurora Store or on F-Droid, you can do that now. And that's a really cool thing, to be able to do that in a faster, more efficient way that doesn't make it as cumbersome or as hard to do. Anyway, hopefully you liked the video. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you sideload on your Supernote? I'm very intentional and only use reading apps, but maybe you want to sideload things, big things like Obsidian or even something else. Let me know in the comments. How do you do this? Or do you not want to touch the Supernote ecosystem and want to wait for them to give you officially supported apps? And we'll see with the new plugin system what that means for the future. But as of right now, this is a really good way to do it. It's safe as long as you make sure you go to trusted sites. And until next time, thank you all so much and keep on moving forward. I will see you in the next video. Bye now.